double-neck mandolin, I might look at least like a rock star. So, you know, and when I'm doing like solo acts, I do a lot of looping and stuff like that. And I got tired of, you know, playing the bouzouki, then taking the bouzouki off, putting it down, picking up the mandolin, put the mandolin, play it a little bit, take it off, put it down, pick up this, pick up that. And it was just like, I just need a double neck. And since I couldn't afford one, I took an old mandolin and I took an old bouzouki that I had laying around, hadn't played each one of them for over a year, and I bought a brand new jigsaw. And I was like, there comes a point when you're cutting into a perfectly good instrument and you're just all like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this, you know? But I made cardboard cutouts and tried it here and there in all different sorts of ways. And so what I did was, you know, I got the cardboard, I made my marks, and I'm like, here goes nothing, man. And it was like, I just had this sensation like I was, you know, performing surgery or something. I was actually cutting into a body. It was like, oh man. The cool part about it was I videotaped the whole process. So from beginning to this, it will be very soon. I've had a heck of a week. But man, I tell you, and then I was thinking about it and I was all like, well, the two instruments are gonna look stupid together, you know, if I just leave them by themselves. So I'm almost like, well, why don't I just make it really extremely weird? And I'll paint it flat black. And then I'll just kind of leave it there like some old dude's like Camaro he's got sitting in the yard. It's got like, you know, the primer paint on it, you know? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, actually, I want to make it look like something, you know, like Batman's teenage punk son would play, you know? So I was all like, oh, I know. And I've just been starting to get into this whole steampunk thing, right? And I'm like, cool, you know, I got a top hat and I'm wearing suspenders at some of my gigs and it's fun stuff. And I'm like, I'll get the clockworks. So I went and I picked up a clock at a thrift store, and I was like, yeah. So I took the clock apart, which was really fun. If you've never taken a clock apart, you got to do it. It's amazing. Just a few beers while you're doing it. And then when you put it back together again, and you can super glue it all together so it stays there, you know. And then I got some gears, and I got the big spring. And this was the coolest part. I was sitting there trying to figure out how to put all my electronics into it. And thinking, okay, maybe a little box or this or that, you know, and I went to the thrift store and I'm looking for little wooden boxes or cool stuff, and I see these tins, and I'm like, ooh, and this tin was actually like that tall. And so jigsaw, once again, you know, I cut it in half, and I was holding it with a pair of pliers so I wouldn't screw my fingers. And cut it in half, and then I went to Radio Shack, and I found out that these little buzzers that they got in a door, you know, when you buzz somebody in, well, they have a piezo element in them, and that is what an acoustic guitar uses to be amplified. It's guitars like that, most guitars, you know, even this, they're all amplified with piezo elements. Well, I found out on YouTube that you can buy a piezo element at Radio Shack for $2. They're like $150, okay? They're like ridiculously expensive. And I was like, I am so doing that. So I watched this YouTube video, and this guy's all like, yeah, you just go to Radio Shack, you do this, you do that, black wire to red wire, and you're ready to go. I'm like, I can do that. So I bought switches, and I bought 2 of them, 1 for each instrument. Got the little box, you know, screwed it down in there, and now it just plugs in right there, switch on the mandolin, switch on the bouzouki, and I'm good to go, baby. Thank you.
You know, my string was on since the reference to Batman's teenage punk son. But I just couldn't wait to hear what was coming next.
Isn't this sound awesome, though? We're not going to play that song. We are going to play a really cool song, though. This is a brand new one for us. This is called Stargazer. Here we go.
This was a young
sight. He felt like the universe danced in his hands as he stood in the Tuscany sands. What will I do, he asked, where will I go? Impossible answers I still want to know. I'll share all my gifts, but what do you have to say? If Father, you'll show me the way. There once was a young man whose father would sing. No man had ever known what life would bring. One day you'll grow up and you'll realize there's a light of stars in your eyes. In the moonlight a wanderer came, a mysterious stargazer in slipper shade. He drew from his satchel a telescope lens and see where the universe ends. But the boy saw the winding and no place to start, just starlight to fill his inquisitive heart. The boy took this portal beyond the night sky, but the man saw through great Ash's eye. There once was a young man whose father would sing, look to the heavens for what life will bring. One day you'll grow up and you'll realize there's a light of the stars in your eyes. Life on this earth was a gift to mankind. Even when treachery saw him confined, the chain the man died, but they'll never control the eternity found in his soul. Vincenzo and Lepce showed him their mind, the phases of Venus lay out there to find. Marina will love you for the rest of our time. Galileo, your stars have aligned. There once was a young man whose father would sing, look to the heavens for what life will bring. One day you'll grow up and you'll realize there's a light of the stars in your eyes. There once was a young man whose father